Hey now, boys and girls, and there we are. All right. Hey, it's AJ_Strong. It's Ian Blogs Hockey, and lurking somewhere in the background, the one hockey jerk. Welcome to Teal Town, USA. After finally getting a victory in the month of December, I got to admit, I'm hyped. I'm jacked. I'm incredibly impressed that we've done this. But before we go any further, as always, do us a favor. Subscribe to the YouTube channels, and man, this texting is just ridiculous over here. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and as always, join us in the Discord following every After Dark. Pretty much every cast that we do. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for showing up. Initial reactions will go to you first, Ian.
When the Sharks do good, it's good. And tonight, they did good.
Hockey jerk.
I thought the Sharks, they didn't play a full 60-minute game like Jamie Baker wanted them to, but I would say they played we'll say a 49-minute game. Kind of off the rails a little bit there in the third period, but to Ian's point, an overall good game. Good enough to win, obviously.
That's what I'm looking for. Good enough to win. All right, so to end a 4-2 win, we got to like it. Aaron Dell, of course, gets the start in this one. Gambrell gets scratched in this one. And a Sharks power play comes into this. 1 for 32 would finish the night 1 for 34. I think we know where that's going. Oh, by the way, fewest power play goals at this point in the season out of every Sharks team to ever play. I think that says a lot when you consider that how many games did the 92-93 Sharks team win?
Not very many.
Like 10?
12?
Yeah, so it's pretty bad. But to get into that, early in the first, the Sharks did get their first power play. Not much going on. And here's Hockey Jerk to tell you why the Sharks are 1 for 33 because they're still employing the umbrella.
You know what? I similar to the game against the Rangers, I thought the Sharks power play deployment, I thought it looked better than it had looked the previous games. They actually have guys, moving their feet. I recall one instance, I believe Erik Karlsson was all the way down in the corner, which, he can get flashy even down there. So didn't go through, obviously, like how all of us want, but I think the fact that they're trying different things and they're getting guys in motion more, I think it's a sign of hopefully good things to come, and I think it's a step in the right direction. Like I've been talking about the last week, just try it, and if it doesn't work, try something else. There's no harm in trying something, and clearly the Sharks have done that the last 2 games.
Well, talk about trying something. About midway through the first, we get Hurdle getting on the board for the second straight game, and Jumbo being like, yep, still got it. That pass. Yep, for the old man, still got it. Ian, Reid, your thoughts on that first goal and how that's going to help the Sharks?
Well, I think, the one thing about Joe Thornton is we've all agreed that he's maybe lost a step, but he's also played with inferior talent than he's probably ever played with in his entire time on this team. Look, if he's going to be able to do, pretty little passes like that to guys that can finish, and Tomas Hurdle we know can definitely finish, good things are going to happen. So as skeptical as I was with Jumbo kind of moving up the lineup, he can still pass. Can he move as well as he used to? No. But can he still put that bread on the biscuit? Yep. Butter on the biscuit? He can. He can still pass it through just things that he shouldn't be able to pass through. I mean, that pass was pretty straightforward, but we've seen him make passes that just no one should make. And when you have people on the other end that can finish them, like I said, good things are going to happen.
If Karlsson if he puts it behind the net, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, but that's exactly. Well, and that's the point I was going to make, because to Ian's credit, he you point out, Vlasic's not ready for the pass. I think if say things go a little differently there, I imagine Vlasic pivots and then it's an easy pass to him, no problem. But I think as Erik Karlsson, I think you need to look up before you're going to make the pass, and you realize Vlasic's not ready. And then that's, to your point, AJ, either throw it behind the net to give Vlasic time to spin, or pivot yourself and then maybe make a forward pass up to one of your forwards.
Yeah, because the play there is obviously it's supposed to go to Vlasic and then it's supposed to go up.
Yeah, but I hear that word.
Immediately go the other way, and that's the plan that's what we've seen a lot of under Boughner so far, is that one pass, pass out, one pass, pass out.
And if I can, if I can continue to be his defender for just a hot second, I mean, only 2 giveaways in a 60-minute effort. I mean, that's going to happen more often than not. Like, I feel like you could pick out anybody else from tonight, and you could probably find at least 1 or 2 giveaways on their part as well. Maybe not as egregious, but still giveaways nonetheless.
Yes, but again, it goes back to the point of when everything is going to be magnified when you're the highest paid defenseman in the league. That's all. That's the only point. And then I hear the word pivot, and all I can think is Ross and Friends and pivot. But anyway, if you know, you know, people. One thing I want to get to is we were told that earlier today on Twitter, we were told that if it was me and Jerk on here tonight, that somebody was going to be donating significant ducats on the Super Chat. I've yet to see one. I'm just saying, just calling it out there.
Did I screw it up?
No, but I'm just saying, Anyway, be a man of your word, people. So, anything like kind of final things for this one tonight, guys? Anything that really sticks out that you're kind of either that you saw and you were just kind of, hey, you know what? That's better. Like it's trending in the right direction, or you're sitting there going, because I'll tell you, for me, it's like I'm still seeing some defensive lapses, particularly in the second period, like I said earlier. Still have issues with this umbrella on the power play that's insanely predictable. Those need to be looked at.
Is it though? Because like I find like it's still going to be somewhat predictable, but I mean like you've seen a lot like compared to where the shots normally come, like you're still getting a lot of more in close shots on the power play. I find, which under Peter DeBoer it was point shots or get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like that was it. Like if you weren't shooting from the point, you weren't shooting on the power play. Whereas I feel like one of the things that I do like is we're starting to see shots. You're seeing the defensemen kind of, get up into the play a little bit more flexibility to move it around. They're not just one point, other point, point, shoot, maybe get a deflection for a deflection guy who's no longer on the team. I mean, there's definitely work to be done, but I do like some of the changes so far.
Jerk?
Yeah, no, I agree with Ian, and I talked about it earlier. The power play and really everything in general, it seems like it has a lot more urgency, which is obviously nice. Especially, thankfully, the Sharks weren't in this position tonight, but especially when you're losing, urgency is good. And then to see, I mean, my one complaint, and I will give you props for this one, AJ, mentioning how the umbrella was a little sus tonight. It's tough because I like having Erik Karlsson down kind of on that flank a little bit lower like he was tonight, but I also like having Erik Karlsson in the umbrella. Wow, okay, you'll see it in a sec. I like having Erik Karlsson in the umbrella spot as well because he's much more mobile than Brent Burns is. I saw one instant in the first period where you had Brent Burns in the umbrella, and that puck is like slowly like staggering out of the zone, and Burns is like barely there, and I'm like, oh boy. Like, and I think when we saw the limited times tonight where your 2 D-men were Erik Karlsson and Tim Heed, I thought that was a very effective D pair on the power play. And I just want to say too, AJ, we talked when DeBoer got fired, we said I bet Tim Heed is happy as clams. I bet his corn is popped, and you know what? He's probably had the most urgency the last 2 games. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but I think Heed has really came to play the last 2 games.
He actually had ice time.
Yeah, his noodle was baked on that. Mike Meyer, thank you so much for the $4.99 and not to be outdone, just another Randy G dropping the mic in front of Michael, saying, "Hey, it wasn't me, but does this count as major ducats?" Yes, it does. Thank you for setting the bar that high. Oh, and we're coming back around. Steve Cropper, I got your super chat right here. Keep up the good work, gents, and we appreciate it. Oh boy, and we love this. Oh wait, what? Unsusbrella. Uh-oh.
Yes, unsusbrella.
You better write that one down, Jerk.
I feel like, you know what though, like there's gonna be some things, but I mean obviously like there's gonna be an adjustment here too, right? Like, and the one thing that's gonna be interesting to see what the Sharks do is when things stop working or things aren't working, do they keep doing what I almost said DeBoer, what Boogie tells them, and do they go back to what they know? And I think that's going to be the really interesting thing to watch going forward. Is if things start really going off the rails in a game, and kind of like they did against the Rangers. Do they keep doing the things that obviously we've seen so far from the last two games, just little subtle differences in the game, or do they go back to what they know? And I think that's going to be the really, really tricky part going forward for the team.
Okay, I want to call in one thing here. And unfortunately, sure. I thought that I had set this up prior to the show. Unfortunately, I didn't. So you're going to have to forgive me because I'm going to have to drop this in, and it's not going to be pretty to start off with. But, hey, we do what we can to, well, let's just say drive a point home. So let me just – all I want to do is call out this play here. And if I can just bring it back. So this is the hurdle goal from a different perspective, different camera angle. You see Myers out there in front, knees bent.
Mm-hmm.
You got, Hurdle up at the dot. He's coming back around. You see Thornton eyeballing everything. And for some reason, I don't know if Myers has narcolepsy. He just says, you know what? It's just a really good time to take a nap right here. I just got a big kick out of that. He's like, you know what? And I'm really tired, so I'm just going to lay down right there.
Well, and you know what? It shows that Starfish defensive posture is not exclusive to the Sharks.
Right?
There you go.
They may own the trademark, not exclusive. Oh, Jessica, thank you so much. College student on a budget, still want to contribute. Feels
Been
nice
there.
to finally have a win, and Hockey Jerk is a favorite. Oh, that is awesome.
Hey, you know what? I aim to please. All right, we appreciate it. One thing I wanted to mention before we get off from this game, and Ian and I talked about this last game, but did anyone else feel like Joachim Blichfeld was just a little out to lunch tonight? Like,
with the exception of handing off his stick to Burns,
yeah, that was like the one good thing I think he did tonight.
He might be a little out of his depth, or a little, shall we say, kind of feeling the moment.
Yeah, you want to see a little bit more from Blichfeld, I think. I mean, you look at he managed to get another game in, but I don't know how many more of these games he can have, especially when you're pulling guys like Gambrell out. I don't think Gambrell had a great game against the Rangers, don't get me wrong, but when you're pulling, when you're seeing people getting pulled out of the lineup like that, I don't know how many more games Blichfeld's going to get if he can't just get something going. I don't want to say he's been bad. But it's been very unmemorable. He's just a guy right now, as I like to say.
Yeah. Chris in the super chat. Thank you for the donation. 69 viewers right now. Nice.
Nice.
How do we not have 69 thumbs up at this point? So want to let everybody know now that Brody and Hanner are off the air. Thank you very much for watching us. We go live after every single game. As always, follow us on the social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. We're on all of them. Also doing some groovy, fun things on Discord. And another reminder, if you are on iTunes, trying to help our profile there, so we would really appreciate a nice, cool, solid review with the 5 stars. Help spread the word, get the program out to everybody. So moving forward, I think we talked about this after the Rangers game. So you got 7 at home. Yeah, I can count. 7 at home right now, 1-1.
They won the one that mattered, though. I mean, this is the division game. Like, I would much rather them win this game than the game against the Rangers, because this is the one that mattered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the things that what sucks though is that 3 of the next 4. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I was right. 3 of the next 4 are in division, and the one that's outside of the division is against St. Louis. So it's not getting any easier.
No.
So
I think the Sharks need to. I think the Sharks need to beat St. Louis from a moral perspective, a moral victory, because St. Louis had their way with the Sharks last spring, and I imagine the Sharks won't. I mean, I hope the Sharks wouldn't take too kindly to that.
Yeah, and you know what? There's just no crapping way that we don't get someone from our buddies at Let's Go Blues Radio on for the post game for that. That should be fun. No way Jeff or Chris doesn't come on. But we might have to get Chris JWS to make an appearance just so we can get a little beer talk into that one. That would be fun. So real quick, earlier tonight, or I shouldn't say earlier tonight, earlier today at SAP Center, there was another game hosted by
Ooh, Barracuda.
versus the Stockton Heat. We did see a goal from Latunov and Chekovic, Sasha, and recently waived Deal gets an assist. Trevor Carrick finally gets an assist. Up until today, every point that Carrick had was a goal.
God, that's the worst. The worst.
He finally gets his first assist, and your
What a puck
Tynkin.
hog.
Yeah, no doubt, right? Your Tynkin gets his sixth assist, so at least you had that. But Barracuda did ultimately fall 3-2 today against Stockton. That kind of sucks. But you know what? The Barracuda have another opportunity tomorrow in Stockton to try to get one back. So if you're in that neck of the woods, by all means, go catch some Heat Barracuda up in Stockton.
I want to take Sleepy had a question here from Pashelka. Boughner said Aaron Dell will start Tuesday, giving Martin Jones time to work with Nabokov. So Dell has already learned much from Naby. I don't know if it's so much like, he's, Dell's the finished product here. I think really for the Sharks, what you need to do at this point is, obviously, you're in a hole, so results do matter, but so does the process. And I think right now, what Boughner is trying to do is he's trying to give everyone a clean sheet of ice. And the way that looks like he's going to do it, and that's the way that I would do it at this point, especially with the way Martin Jones has played. Martin Jones hasn't played like a starter in some time, so win and you're in, right?
Well, that and Dell has a familiarity with Naby that Jones doesn't.
Sure, but from forever ago. It's not like I don't think
Look,
it's
both
like
of our
saying,
goalies suck, dude.
I know they. I know.
What are you gonna do?
I think it's more. It's. I don't think it's that saying that like Dell is now the master and Jones is the student. It's not. It's just.
We're staying with the Star Wars thing, are we?
Yes, we're staying with Star Wars thing.
The apprentice and the master.
Yes, no. Dell isn't the master. They're both Padawans. They gotta work
Jesus
their way.
Christ.
But Dell had a good game tonight. Jones didn't have a good game against New York. Dell gets another start. Win and you're in, man. That's the way it should be right now. Because the Sharks need to worry about results. Because this isn't a tomorrow team, a rebuild on the fly, whatever the hell they're going to try and shovel down our throats at the end of the year. But you have to have a process at some point too. And I think Dell, or Boughner giving everyone, like you said, a clean sheet of ice. Look at Tim Heed played over, I think, well over 10 minutes tonight, didn't he?
He played 14.
14 minutes for this is what you're going to see. And this is just as important as the end result. Obviously, you need some wins, but you gotta, you also have a process, and you gotta have a process that the guys are going to respect. And this is the only way you can do that.
Yeah. Any man saying from Pang that Boughner says this is a competition. Both guys are good goalies. Okay. Jonesy's going to get a chance here to work with Naby for a few days, and Deller goes in the next game. So should be fun versus your Yotes.
Yeah, and I think this is a pivotal time for the Sharks because for those listening live, today's obviously Saturday. The next game the Sharks play is not till Tuesday, and then after that they're not on until next Saturday. So the Sharks are going to have plenty of time to, reset. It is Christmas time. Maybe bake some cookies. Open a cheat gift before Christmas Day, and just kind of reset. Because even going back to the previous homestand, and then they were right out on the road. They've been like go for like the last month. So it'll be nice for them to just relax and chill out. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, tomorrow is the day after a game. They're not going to have practice. I wouldn't be surprised if they have like an optional day Monday as well, just to kind of get everybody refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. But also remember, we sit there and talk about, well, they play Tuesday, then they're off until the following Saturday. But remember, it's Saturday, and then they play again the next day. and St. Louis
Straight
and
back to
Vegas. Yeah, back to back. So it'll be interesting to see. Say that Dell picks up the victory versus Arizona. Say he picks up a victory versus St. Louis. Does he automatically get the call versus Vegas the following day?
I would. I mean, you've earned the equity at that point, no?
Well, and the only reason why I bring it up is because if I remember correctly, Pierre LeBrun had an interesting article in the last week or so in The Athletic talking about that coaches need to let go of this whole back-to-back issue with goalie starts. Like, if a guy's playing well, keep him in. The fact that there's a back-to-back, who cares?
I think on the fact alone that the last time the Sharks played Vegas, Dell was in net and only let in one goal and held the team in it a lot of time. I think on that principle alone, you give Dell the Vegas game.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Shane Pig. Vlasic had us in stitches on picking up the game puck. It was for Bob. I'll just pick up a random puck, tell everybody it was the 1,000th game. No one will know the difference.
Dude, I love Vlasic so much.
Oh, it's pretty good. All right, so let's move on to what happened around the NHL. Laurel, if we could have the text intro, please, because, we don't have the video here. But let's have the common courtesy to give them a reach around, people. Every team in the Pacific, except for the Sharks, lost tonight. So this was the time to make up some ground. So luckily that the Sharks did get a victory. Ottawa wins in overtime over the Blue Jackets. Declare got a hat trick. Oh, good for you. Islanders win in overtime over the Sabres. Let's see, 4-3. The Ducks beat the Rangers. Jesus Christ, the Rangers beat the Sharks, but then they really come on.
Well, and just real quick on that one. So game against the Sharks, Zibanejad had 2 goals. Today against the Ducks, Zibanejad had 2 goals. I'm not saying I have his jersey for a reason, but
well, dude, what is it? In 2 games, Zibanejad has 4 goals, and Panarin has 4 goals.
Martin Jones, John Gibson. Martin Jones, John Gibson.
Just saying. The Flames, who were on fire for a while, no pun intended, got stunned at home by the Canes. Wow. Reimer, Optimus Prime, former Shark, getting the win in that one. But, boy, I don't know, Jerk, do you love to see it when the Flames get shut out?
Oh, of course. I mean, anytime a division rival gets dummied like that, you're happy to see it. But especially especially Calgary. I mean, it's Saturday, and they didn't even wear their beautiful third jerseys. So what the hell? They should lose on that principle alone.
The Predators lost 4-1. Again, continuing the thing of any team that beats the Sharks will lose their next game or two. Whatever. And Pavelski doesn't factor in. What are you going to do? Maple Leafs beat the Oilers 4-1. So it's another one. Telling you, man, dude, how did all these Pacific teams lose tonight? Of note in this one, Kerfoot. I'm sure there was a lot of jerseys in the audience for that one. On that score.
As long as they were signed.
Right. Minnesota Wild beat the Flyers. That's kind of a stunner to me a little bit. But 4-1.
Wild been on quite the run they're not on a super run. I believe they're still out of the playoffs. But, they've definitely picked up some wins, though.
Yeah.
And got out of the absolute basement, so that's good for them. Congratulations, Minnesota Wild. You're not Detroit.
Right. Alex Stalock, former Shark, getting the win in that one. Dude, and then, don't make fun of Detroit. They got another goddamn win over the Canadiens. Is that like the first time this entire season Detroit's won 2 games in a row?
It means that in their last 14 games, they're 2-12.
Jesus Christ, dude. Are they just like tired of being used as a meme? Like they're just, okay, we're tired of seeing coaches get fired, so we're going to win a few here and like flip the script? Is that what it is?
Well, I think the fact that they haven't hit double digits in wins yet, so I think they wanted to at least secure that before they just full sail tear it up.
I think too. I mean, like we've watched the Sharks in better years play down to an opponent.
Oh, yeah.
And look at when you have a team that's like like Dirk says, in single digit wins, it's easy to not get up for that game, and it's easy to get your lunch fed to you because of it.
Yeah, trap game hashtag.
I believe the phrase is you show up, you take 2 points, and you get out.
Right.
And didn't happen tonight.
Yeah, Caps over Lightning 5-2, Bruins over Panthers 4-2, and I will not be pronouncing the name of the Panthers goalie. Deal with it. Pasta puts up another 2 goals. Dear Lord, is that kid just going to win every trophy? Penguins beat the Kings in the shootout. Man, what happened to the Penguins? Anyway, I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just saying, I'm not mad. Dude, the Blues 4-3 over the Blackhawks. Are the Blackhawks starting to play a little more like better hockey? Saad with 2 goals, Bozak with 2 goals. And then the one that Jerk is going to tell you all about and explain how the F his Yotes lost to New Jersey at home.
Well, it's like I said earlier, the Coyotes, as well as they've been playing, they struggle to score goals a lot of the time. So if you can exploit that, 2 goals will get it done. When most of the time you need 3 or 4 to even be in overtime, as we've seen lately. So, I wonder if Taylor Hall will just stay in Arizona as the New Jersey Devils leave. I mean,
F you.
I mean,
you.
Last night they played Colorado, who's the other alleged front runner, and they didn't leave him there. So maybe this is it.
Held out of both, right? So I like this from Andy Man. What will Vlasic's teammates get him as a gift for his 1,000th NHL game? I'm sure it's a good one coming. First D-man to do it, so it should be extra special. Okay, look. For the 1,000th game, who was it? Was it Marlowe? I forget who was it that got like the ridiculously huge like elephant tusk or whatever the hell it was.
Jumbo.
That was Thornton.
That was Thornton? Okay, I don't even know what the hell that signified. Dude, if they don't just straight up bring out a new puppy for Vlasic, I mean, come on. Give it, and you name him Grand, for 1,000 or something.
Oh.
Come on, give Vlasic a puppy. You heard it here first, folks. If they don't give him a puppy, there's just something smells rotten in Denmark. I'm just saying. So, with that, I think we're probably going to wrap things up here. Sharks are victorious 4-2. Finally get a win in the month of December. Get Boughner his first win as the San Jose Sharks head coach. And we move on, ladies and gentlemen. These guys have their work cut out in front of them. 5 more at home before heading out to Detroit to spend New Year's Eve in murder capital of the world. I don't know. So, as always, follow us on the social media. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitter and Instagram, like us on Facebook, check us out on Reddit. Again, if you're part of the Discord, we usually go hang out there and wind down after a show. So if you'd like to join us and get into other things, whether it's buttering a biscuit, baking a noodle, or popping a tart, we're there to help you put the icing on the cake after every single game. So again, as always, iTunes. Throw us some 5 stars. We're trying to build up our iTunes a little bit, so if you could help us, we would appreciate that. Ian Reid can be found at Ian Blogs Hockey on Twitter. Hockey Jerk can be found at hockey_jerk on Twitter. And, you might find all 3 of us tomorrow night for the Pucknologists. I'm just saying. So with that, final thoughts there, Ian.
Final thoughts. Look at the Sharks. It's a good win for them. You definitely, again, it's just about as much the process as it is about the wins, but they're going to need to be able to manufacture a little bit more offense because, yes, they won by 2 goals, but 2 of those goals were empty netters. So need to manufacture some offense.
Jerky.
Yeah, I thought considering all the drama around the team this past week, I thought the Sharks played a relatively good game. I even thought they had a good half a game against the Rangers, and I think, like you said, Ian, if they just stick with the process and keep doing what they know they're good at, I think eventually the wins are going to come, and And we saw Meyer get off the schneid. We saw Kane get off the schneid. I'm hoping that with those guys in particular, they're both going to be playing with Couture for a while. I'm hoping the floodgates open for them and they can just tear it apart.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. So that's it. We're going to wrap this one up. We will catch you after my Sharks plays Jerks Yotes.
Ooh.
There you go. There you go. And no, we're not going to be putting a whole jersey bet on this. There'll be none of that horse shit. None of that. All right? Just saying. So whether you need your tart popped, your noodle baked, or your cake iced, we're here for you after every single game. Keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, Teal. Have a good night, everyone. Catch you on Discord.